Thanks to the wonderful year that is 2023, inflation doesn't just hit your wallet in real life anymore, it's been brought to zombies. My friend Reaper made a mod where every 10 seconds, everything in Black Ops 3 Zombies gets a little bit more expensive. I'm pretty much going to be trying to buy a mansion in Zimbabwe dollars after an hour of playing, so I decided to try and upgrade every gun in Origins in one match, and it may have been the worst decision of my entire life. To try and just get something before prices increased, I immediately bought an RK5 off the wall and used my free Gobblegum spin for a soda fountain. And I actually figured this would be more fun than using Perkaholic because I would still be spending money on ridiculously overpriced perks. Turning on the first generator even cost 8 more points than normal, and look, I understand that's not a lot of points, but it's about the principle, damn it, and it adds up. Buying Quick Revive actually gave me Mule Kick as the extra perk, which isn't actually that horrible because carrying 3 guns this early will be helpful because it's better to buy them now for 1,000 points than for 10,000 points later on. I eventually opened up the first few doors to generator 3 and we're already at an 18% price increase. That doesn't sound like a lot, but that meant Speed Cola cost an extra 539 points to buy and it's only round 4. While I do some more setting up, let me explain the full challenge a little bit. From my best counting, there are 36 guns on Origins that aren't the staffs, and my goal is to upgrade all of them in this match. I'm also not going to be using any staffs since that would be really way too easy, and I'm not allowed to hoard points either until I can upgrade like 10 guns at once. Gotta keep things at least a little bit fair. So with that said, my only 2 goals right now are Juggernog and opening up all of the doors I can before Poppy Panzer comes to collect his butthole tokens on round 8. I actually chose to use the Widow's Wine grenades to my advantage this time because they don't kill zombies very well, but they do gain a lot of points by dealing damage to all the zombies that they hit multiple times. So with that extra 1,000 points or so, I was able to open the door to Pack-a-Punch, and it usually costs 2,250 points, but right now it costs 3,059. Then on round 6, I spent almost 1,800 points on an MP40 because it's got a good amount of ammo to get me some of that sweet bread that we're after, and with double tap it'll hopefully be enough to fend off the Panzer. Near the end of the round I went to generator 5 and turned it on, so normally also when you turn on generators it costs 200 points, but when you complete it you get back those points plus an extra 100. With the inflation mod though, this is already starting to actually lose me money overall, thanks for nothing Joe. Then as I was reeling from all that, the Panzer showed up and decided he just didn't want to die today. Bullets can't legally touch him anymore because he said no. Eventually after buying another chunk of MP40 ammo, I politely persuaded him to fold over on the floor and die. Now this is the point in the game where my wallet really starts getting battered around. Doors that originally cost 1,250 points are now 2,100, and when you're on round 9, that hits like a brick. Suddenly you go from thinking about pack-a-punching to wondering if you can get enough points for ammo. Oh well, after taking care of some pesky Templar zombies who turned off generator 1 and 2, I can get back to making some progress thanks to a cheeky double points that netted me a sweet 7,000 points extra. With 1 zombie left in the round, I built the shield and went for my first pack-a-punch of the game. It cost me 10,100 points to do, and this is only the first of 36 we need to complete the challenge. Fuck me. Speaking of, it's time for upgrade number 2, where I pack-punch the RK5 for a casual 10,850 points before running over to generator 6 and fighting off the Templars once again. In case you've not played Origins in a while or at all, I need all generators around the map to be on at the same time in order to pack-punch, so I can't just let them all get turned off. That's my wife's job. It's about time to start my second rotation of guns, so I take a ground spawn KRM shotgun over the upgraded RK5 since it doesn't really serve me much purpose now. One thing I am keeping though is the upgraded Mauser, so I always have something to either deal with the Panzer or get me out of a corner if it's needed. And just like clockwork, I spent the next few minutes spamming MP40 ammo and using the Widow's Wine grenades to grind out points until it was time to hand over 12,250 points in exchange for an upgraded KRM shotgun that I literally immediately got rid of to buy the M8A7 off the wall behind me. Shit's rough out here and I need to be hustling constantly. I don't have time to catch feelings for any guns no matter how thick they are. Round 16 was another Panzer who immediately got placed in the timeout corner because he fucking swore right in front of me. Oh, and if you're wondering about my basic strategy for getting through rounds, by the way, it basically boils down to running around near generator 4. It's a central area to pack-a-punch with somewhat easy access to most of the areas that I'm gonna need to be getting to. Because if I was over, let's say near generator 3, then just running up to Pack-a-Punch will take enough time to raise prices by 2%. I'm always trying to be conscious of this multiplier because if I'm not, then there's a chance that we soft lock and I can't get enough points fast enough to ever buy ammo or a gun again. With that said, for now we're still pretty early on, and at the end of round 17 I spent 13,500 points to upgrade my M8A7. Right after that I run up to the church and swap that for an STG-44 from the wall. If you're wondering why I still have the MP40, it's because the ammo ammo for it is still somewhat cheap, and for now I don't need to worry about running out of ammo for it, unlike something that's Pack-a-Punch where it would cost so many points to get ammo for. Round 18 gave me lots of points, so there's another gun checked off our list, and it only cost 14,350 points. Maybe Karl Marx did have a point after all. When the next round began, I dug up a Shiva, which I took over the STG and knew this was going to be my next target. It's actually good to get some of the crap guns out of the way now, because I would prefer the ones with lots of ammo later on when I'm going to need to be spending my life savings on an upgrade in Skittles. NRGs was shining down on me now though, and I was blessed with a double point to help me stack up almost 22,000 points in just one round, which means we were given the privilege of spending 15,000 of them on a fucking upgraded Shiva. Pain isn't even a strong enough word to describe what happened there. I then almost died turning on generator 1 again because those temp bars are worse than stepping on Legos, but the Panzer getting absolutely obliterated will always cheer me up. Next gun on the chopping block is the lowly LCAR 9, which fun fact I almost religiously used when Black Ops 3 first came out. It's the first gun you see outside of Spawn on Shadows of Evil, and I swore to everyone that it was the early round gun to use. Can't believe it's been almost 8 years. Anyway, before the existential dread kicks in, I also finally got rid of the MP40 and bought the Kuda from the wall on my way by. This 3.2x price multiplier is really starting to freak me out, and I've only upgraded a handful of guns so far. I need to start playing even faster or we may get stuck. Luckily, just like last time, a lucky double points drops into my lap and I'm able to build up 28,000 points before spending 16,500 of them on Pack-a-Punch once again. So far in this game, we've upgraded 7 out of 36 guns and spent a total of 88,450 points on just Pack-a-Punching them so far. This isn't gonna end well, is it? Oh, and by the way, I just want to say thanks Reaper for actually making the mod itself. We were digging around in Discord and he mentioned making a similar mod, and I suggested that he make an inflation one instead. About 15 minutes later, he comes back with a working version like an absolutely based individual, so the link for it will be in the description if you want to download it. Back in the land of make-believe, I Pack-a-Punch the Kuda mostly because I needed the ammo. There's no sense in buying ammo for a gun anymore that I could just upgrade because the few thousand points I'm spending on it'll just go to waste. Then I almost died near generator 2 because while dealing with the Templar zombies attacking it, the Panzer showed up and almost bunked me out of existence. That right there is the perfect example of why I've kept the Mauser this entire time, but now we've pretty much run out of wall weapons to upgrade, so it's mystery box roulette time. And of course the first few spins at it, almost 4 times the original price by the way, give me guns that I've already upgraded. Absolutely wonderful, and for the first time in a while I also use a gobblegum and get shopping free, which means my ass is sprinting for the Pack-a-Punch machine no matter the risks. We get a super lucky zombie blood and I'm able to upgrade the Vesper, MP40, and VMP without spending any points whatsoever. Times like this make me feel like a real life politician getting away with all that shit. Jokes aside, this puts me in such a better position than we were a few minutes ago, and it doesn't even hurt that the Vesper is a point getting machine. I then opened up the bottom of the excavation site, grabbed the Tommy gun, and was so close to taking it down because I forgot that zombies on round 25 take more than a few bullets to take down. I must have Alzheimer's though, because I forgot that again almost immediately and took my first down because of it. This actually sets us back so much because even buying just Juggernog now costs over 10,000 points. I've only got a little bit over that and I need more perks than just Juggernog, but I can't stop upgrading guns and the inflation counter is constantly ticking away. If only real people had experience with these sort of struggles in their everyday lives, man, that would be something. Some luck did turn back my way though with a fire sale that gave me the AK-74U and another free gobblegum for double points. These help get us back on track a little bit, but no joke, that one down probably cost us over 100,000 points between the perks lost, the guns, and what we could have earned without needing to slow down. Regardless, we push on and the AK-74U is thrown in the Pack-a-Punch to complete our 13th gun, and it's already round 28. This might actually take me until round 50, I wish I was kidding. Time for more mystery box spinning after a very successful round where I gained almost 35,000 points. Some of that was then responsibly spent on Quick Revive before deciding to wait one more round in the mystery box because I dug up a free max ammo. Good thing I did that too because my next gobblegum was a soda fountain. This is still going to cost me over 7,000 points per perk from the Wonder Fizz machine, but now at least I can get all 9 and only pay for half of them. Side note here, but big ups to the shield because I forgot how slow you run through the mud on BO3 Origins without stamina up. It's painful. It's like watching 2 old people fuck at a glacial pace, but the shield kept me nice and protected. Weird tangents aside, I finally got back to spinning the mystery box where it gave me the L4 Siege rocket launcher and the BRM LMG. The nicest thing I can say about that pairing is that at least they're new guns to upgrade, so just to get out of of the way, the BRM went into the Pack-a-Punch, and we're officially on round 30. I just realized I'd never explained this, but I'm playing Origins for this challenge because it felt as if something like Kino der Toten would have just been too easy. But Origins has a lot of guns, a lot of doors, and is a relatively difficult map without using the staff, so the simple answer to this is extra suffering. Please subscribe. I also found out quickly that I am not a big fan of the BRM. It's just so goddamn slow, and zombies are able to catch up with me even when I'm walking backwards while shooting. The L4 Siege was actually stronger and was able to take out an entire horde of zombies in only a couple of rockets. There was also probably the most embarrassing down of my entire life here. At the end of the round, I was reading Discord, but also trying to grab this lightning disc for some reason. One zombie showed up when the round began, trapped me in that corner, and I wasn't able to make it out. Another 35,000 points down the drain on the perks being lost there, including 14,000 for just rebuying Juggernog. Worse than all of that though is now I don't even have a gun to gain points with, because that's all that's left with Mule Kick being gone is the L4 Siege and the upgraded Mauser. My only option was to train around zombies and go for as many headshots as I could with the Mauser for almost 2 rounds straight until 32 was almost over and I had enough points to upgrade the Siege. And now that needs to be used as the primary point getter since the Mauser is almost completely out of ammo. I had about 16,000 points at the end of the round, which is just enough to buy 1 Wonder Fizz perk and 1 mystery box spin. The Wonder Fizz gave me speed cola plus Deadshot because of the soda fountain and the KN-44 from the mystery box. It's a new gun which is good and it'll help me get a lot of points. Then honestly for a little while the game went mostly silent. I was able to buy 1 more Wonder Fizz spin the next round, but it took until almost the end of round 35 before I could finally upgrade the KN and buy another perk. But then a lot of things happened at once. I grabbed the ICR from the chest reward, knocking off another gun from our list, and then I got another shopping free gobblegum. Problem is I'm across the map from Pack-a-Punch and unprepared for it. But I needed to do at least something, so on the way through the bunker I was able to buy the Argus shotgun from the wall and I got it upgraded before the shopping free ran out. All in all it was kind of an L, but upgrading the Argus normally would have cost 35,000 points, so I really can't be all that mad I guess. Next round I had enough points for a handful of mystery box spins again, which means the really only useful thing I got of course was the Ray Gun Mark II, which is probably the best option that I could have gotten. Too bad everything else was just all repeats. Then my luck actually turned around again since on round 37 a Zombie Blood and a Fire Sale both dropped at the same time. During those spins I got the MG08 and 48 Dredge, which are massive in more ways than one. Firstly they're just big, but also they're both new and have tons of ammo, which means big points potential. And we're really gonna need it right now since upgrading has slowed down a lot the last couple of rounds. Of course it immediately pays dividends because we end that round with over 80,000 points, which means for the first time in a while we can upgrade 2 guns at once. Granted that they both cost a total of 80,000 points, which is a kick in the nuts, but hey, at least I'll take it at this point in the challenge. In the next round, another Panzer immediately hits the dirt and a Fire Cell gives me the Weevil in exchange for the upgraded Dredge 48. I actually wanted to keep the MG08 for a little while longer because it gives me lots of points and the movement speed on it is fantastic. And we upgrade the Weevil that same round, only costing 42,000 points, which is a totally reasonable price according to big corporations. Now it's time to say goodbye to the MG08 who gets swapped out for the shitty little Pharaoh, but hard decisions need to be made in this challenge. Round 39 took pretty much all my ammo, but we've got some points again, so I hand over my money and dignity to the Pack-a-Punch machine in exchange for something that I really don't want. So in an act of defiance, I use another gobblegum to start up a fire sale, which only ends up giving me an M14, which I knew was Reaper and Black Ops 3 both laughing at me. But hey, at least we made it to round 40 I guess, that's pretty cool. During the round I also ran out of ammo in the Pharaoh, so I popped another fire sale, and this time I got the Haymaker, which is the first shotgun that we've had in a really long time. Speaking of, we haven't even had a single sniper yet, and that's not because I've actually been avoiding them. The mystery box just hasn't even given me one. But eventually the M14 can get checked off of our list, and then I can immediately get it the fuck out of my inventory. This time I end up with the breadsheet to add to my shotgun collection that doesn't really help me get any points at all, but I really need to upgrade anyway. I accidentally ended round 41, but still went to upgrade the Haymaker anyway because I have almost no ammo anymore. Once I got back to Generator 4, I rolled a shopping free gobblegum, but painfully I couldn't do anything with it. Pack-a-Punching on round 41 in the middle of a round would have been an absolute death sentence unless I got a Zombie Blood drop, and sadly that didn't happen, so I went back to crying in silence. Adding even more salt to the wound, I downed once again after just barely getting stuck between a zombie and some piece of map geometry. Don't worry, we did recover without too many issues, and we were fortunate enough to buy Juggernog for the low low price of almost 25,000 points. And only a few minutes later, we finally hit the 10x inflation price. It's a bittersweet moment because we've accomplished a lot so far, but it also makes me just feel really shit. In order to keep the bad thoughts away, I hopped in my Discord server and just said to come hang out if you want to watch me suffer. I didn't realize that the Discord names would cover up the multiplier though, so sorry about that. But hey, at least Shinzo Abe got hit with that quick revive, so that's a W. But aside from that, when round 43 began, we were still able to Mike Tyson the Panzer without any issues really, and the whole round just kind of happened. It was a struggle, sure, because only the Mark II was actually able to do any real damage, but we struggled through until I got more fire sales, and the reality hit me that even with 50,000 points, I was still too broke to upgrade anything. That means we needed to get through all of round 44 before I could actually upgrade this stupid Brecci and use my fire sales to get the Locust Sniper. I knew these things would start appearing at some point, just not when we needed them the least. This is also where I got fucking scammed. I spun the Wonder Fizz for 16,000 points and it gave me the teddy bear so it could move to a different location. Usually you'll get all your points back for this, but instead of 16,000, I only got the 1,500 back. I mean, it fits the theme of the inflation challenge where your money just disappears and you get nothing in return, but I was still pissed. Round 45 begins and I kinda need a max ammo badly since this Mark II's running low and the Locust just isn't going to cut it. But this is when I realized that all of the decent wall weapons are now too expensive for me to buy. At over 11 times the original price, the KN-44 next to me would cost almost 17,000 points. And stuff like the RK5 isn't going to give me enough points to make my money back on buying it. Even knifing is a mostly losing battle here, but just in time before I softlock myself, I managed to buy the KN and keep the dream alive for myself. Or that was until after spending all the ammo, I had only about 8,000 points. Buying ammo would now cost 8,100. And before I could knife enough zombies for some points, the level geometry once again fucked me for a game over. Now go watch this video of me completing the 3 hardest achievements / trophies in Zombies history. Thanks for watching, love you, bye bye.